and welcome to beautiful sunny Sri Lanka. Well, it's not really sunny anymore, it's the sun's going down, but you get the idea. This is the second time I've tried to record this very quick video. The other day I tried when I was in a really rural area and well, it didn't go so well. I was accosted by a group of local youths. Seriously. To record videos. Hello! How are you? Anyway, no possibility of that happening here, I don't think, because, well, it's just Western tourists here surfing, really, and they seem to be taking much less interest in what I have to say. It's fine, I'm not taking it personally, it's fine. Anyway, the last week or so has been an incredibly exciting time for me, partly because I'm in an incredible country, but also because I've been testing a new camera. And it's this, the Panasonic Lumix G90. Now, if you've watched my channel for the past 2 years, you might know that for the past 2 years I've been vlogging using this, the Panasonic Lumix G80. So needless to say, the new version has my interest. Now, there are a few things that I've absolutely loved about using this G80. The first is that it has a flip out screen, so you can check you don't look too much of an idiot before you press record. The second is that it has incredible stabilisation. So when I'm walking along a mountainside or something and I happen to trip up, as I usually do, the footage typically often is still usable if I happen to be recording myself at the same time. And the third feature I love that you might love less is that, well, it has a mic input, which means you can hear my voice. Some of you might not like that. Anyway, looking at the spec sheet and using this G90 for the past week or so, I've become very comfortable with the fact that this, in all likelihood, is going to be my next vlogging camera, because this really builds on what the G80 can do. So, alongside being able to record in 4K at 30p, this also has a really good slow motion mode. So ever since I got the G9, which I got primarily for stills, but it also has a really good slow motion. So I'm pointing this way because I'm filming on the G9. Yeah, the G9 has really good slow motion, as does this. So this can shoot at 120 frames a second in 1080p, which is perfect for vlogging B-roll and, well, just scenes that don't look that pretty in normal time, I guess. Very handy feature. This also has some other features taken from the G9 which I'm very happy about, namely these 3 buttons on top of the camera. So on the G9 as well as the G90, there's a dedicated white balance button, which is very important. I mean, I didn't have any formal training in video, and I learnt the hard way that you shouldn't have white balance set to auto when you're recording video. I learnt that over the course of a few kind of 30-minute long clips of me just talking to the camera and then reviewing the footage, only to find that the white balance changed every sort of 10 seconds, rendering the footage completely useless. There's also a dedicated ISO button and a dedicated exposure button on the top too. Now, these do exist in a way on the G80, it's just that they existed on the dial here. All of which means, now that they've been moved to the top, that as on the G9, there's a click wheel, which I absolutely love. It makes reviewing clips and footage and pictures and going through the menus so much quicker and easier. I'm a massive fan of click wheels, and to be honest, that's one of my favourite things about the G9, and I'm sure it's set to become one of my favourite things about the G90 too. Another great vlogging feature that this G90 has is it now has a proper flat profile. Now, when you're vlogging, typically you're doing so throughout the course of a day, and if you're somewhere like this with really bright days, then high contrast scenes are as common as, well, tuk-tuks, and there are a lot of tuk-tuks in Sri Lanka. So being able to record in a flat profile just means you get a much better chance of well, not blowing highlights or losing detail in your shadows. So that's a really nice addition too. Also, the G90 has a 20 megapixel sensor, which brings it in line with the GH5 and the G9. Now, the G80 only has a 16 megapixel sensor, and that wasn't really a problem for me, to be honest. I was using that as my backup stills camera, my backup to the G9. But knowing that the G90 has the same resolution sensor as the G9 is, well, peace of mind, to be honest, knowing that if something goes wrong with the G9, I'm more than covered using the G90. Is that better? Also, the G90 has USB charging, which is a must when you're traveling, really, because it means you don't have to faff around with loads of travel adapters, and you can charge on the plane, for example, some trains and buses. It just makes charging much easier, so that's a very welcome addition. Also, in the same compartment, right next to the USB charge, is a headphone input. So obviously being able to check your sound properly is, well, it's just really nice. To be honest, I wish I'd brought some headphones for testing the sound on this video, because I've got no idea if you can hear me against the the rising tide, the rapidly rising tide at that. Fingers crossed. Oh, and Bluetooth. There's Bluetooth connectivity, which is a fairly big deal when you're kind of making videos on the go, on the road. It helps to be able to connect in as many ways as possible, really. So Wi-Fi and Bluetooth on this camera is a big help. Now, I haven't had much chance to play around with things like image quality and footage quality on this camera because this is a pre-production model. However, it's a pretty tried and trusted setup. I mean, I've been loving the footage out of the G80. As I said, for the past 2 years, that's why I've used the camera for so long. So I've got no hesitation in thinking that the G90 will be any different, and in fact, hopefully it'll be better. But that's what I'll test when I get my hands on a production model, and I've had a bit more time to play with it. But the early signs are good. The early signs are very good. I think I'm going to absolutely love this, and I imagine there's a very good chance that I'll be using this, the G90, as my vlogging camera, my primary vlogging camera, for the next 2 years. But in the meantime, I'm going to go and smother myself in after sun, because as you might be able to tell, I spent too long surfing today and my skin is about to fall off. Along with my arms, actually, because I'm not particularly fit at the moment, so surfing hurt. Anyway, thanks for watching. I'll see you soon. Also, I'll turn the camera back around so you get a bit more of an attractive view to finish the video with than this.